I'm River Gibbs. When young people in my generation want some entertainment, all we have to do is go to the internet, or maybe see a movie, or check out the 300 channels on our cable TV box. But when my grandparents were young, aside from reading a good book or spending Saturday at the movies, the best way to have fun was to listen to the radio. During the next hour, we'll turn back the clock and hear the old-time radio shows young America liked the best. The character of Baby Snooks began in a comic strip in the early part of the last century. It was brought to radio with an adult playing the young Snooks. One of the best-known comedians of the era, Fanny Brice, whose life would later be profiled in the movie Funny Girl starring Barbra Streisand, played Snooks. The project had begun as a series of short slice-of-life segments that were part of other radio shows. Eventually, Baby Snooks would become its own show. It started in the fall of 1944 on CBS, sponsored by General Foods. The part of her dad was played by an incredible actor, Hanley Stafford. The chemistry between Snooks and Daddy was infectious. By the way, actress Fanny Brice got so wrapped up in playing the young Snooks, friends reported that she stayed in character, speaking in a child's voice hours after each show went off the air. The series ran from 1944 through 1951. After we listen to Baby Snooks, we'll visit Madison High School. First, a visit with Baby Snooks.
Hello, Dick. Thought I'd drop in and see you for a minute.
Hello, Daddy. Going somewhere?
Yes, I have to hurry home and change.
Change? Oh, yes, of course. I change, yeah. What for?
You know, my boss. It's his silver wedding anniversary, and he's giving a formal dinner at one of the night spots. I'm Toastmaster.
Oh, how nice, yes. I suppose you'll wear your dinner jacket.
Don't be crass, old man. This is a formal affair.
Oh, I see.
White tie and tails. Absolutely de rigueur.
Au fait, as it were.
Exactly. Say, Dick, you were with me when I bought that full dress suit. Did you think the sleeves were a little too long?
Oh, no. On the contrary, they're quite short.
Too short? How about the trousers?
Well, she never mentioned the trousers, but I'm sure they'll be short, too.
What are you talking about, Dick?
Did I say something? Oh, excuse me, Daddy. I was just thinking about something else. You know, I don't think the Toastmaster should wear tails.
Oh, absurd. I wouldn't dream of wearing anything else.
Well, I suppose you know best. Oh, me.
Yes, I'm thrilled at the opportunity to shake this uniform of the workaday world. After all, it's not every night that I get a chance to be an arbiter elegantiarum.
No.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Dick, I can't stand it any longer. Why don't you tell him?
Meredith.
Tell him? Tell who? What?
About your dress suit. You won't be able
Meredith,
to...
stop it.
No, let him talk. What about my dress suit?
Snooks wore it this evening as a Halloween costume. I think she cut the sleeves off or something.
Good night, all.
I've been stabbed. You must be joking, Meredith.
I'm not joking, Daddy. She told Dick about it, and he let her take his suit to fool you with.
Dick, is this the truth?
Now, take it easy, Daddy.
That little iconoclast. I sweat to give her culture, and she paints beards on the Mona Lisa.
Well, what Mona Lisa? It's only a suit. Call Luke Dollop.
Oh, ingratitude. Thou marble-hearted fiend, more hideous when thou showest thee in a child than the sea monster.
Seneca.
No, Shakespeare. I'm going home.
Now, wait, Daddy. Promise me you won't spank her until you've heard her story.
Howell, if I have to strike that maleficent child, you can rest assured it'll be in self-defense. Goodbye. Now be calm, Higgins, old boy. May not be as bad as you think. I hope. Where's my key? Oh. Take hold of yourself, Lancelot. Well, here we go. Snooks.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello. When did you get home?
I've been home all day, Daddy.
Oh. I thought maybe you dropped in to see Mr. Powell.
Oh.
You look worried, Snooks.
Do I?
Yes.
Did you drop in to see Mr. Powell?
No.
What have I got to worry about?
I can't imagine. Oh, is Robespierre still up?
Mm-hmm. We've been playing together, Daddy.
Now, let's have a look. Oh, where is he? Robespierre! What's he doing with his head in the drum?
We were playing circus, and he was a dog, and I didn't have no hook.
Stop it. Help me get this thing off his head.
Hit him, and he'll go right through, Daddy.
Look out. There. Oh, look at this child's face. It's covered with soot.
No, it ain't. It's shoe polish.
Shoe polish?
Mm-hmm.
Snooks, this is your dastardly work.
Oh, me?
Hand me that wash rag from the dresser.
Here, Daddy.
Oh, sit still, little fellow. Let's get this stuff off. It sticks like glue underneath.
It is glue underneath.
Oh, you wait. Just wait until I get Robespierre in bed. You rue the day you were born.
Well, it was all his fault. He wouldn't recite, so I got mad.
Recite?
Yeah.
This infant can't even talk.
He can, too. He can recite, blah, blah, black sheep, heavy any wool. You want to see him do it?
If he can recite that, I won't spank you for this.
All right. Come on, Robespierre. Recite. He's starting, Daddy.
Oh, that's just gibberish.
No, listen. Go on, Robespierre. Be your sweet little brother. Or I'll knock your block off.
Snooks.
He's going to say it, Daddy. Blah, black sheep, heavy any wool. Didn't I tell you? You can't spank me now.
Oh, all right. Suppose we hold this spanking in abeyance until we talk about another little matter.
Which little matter?
As soon as I put Robespierre in bed, I'll discuss it with you. And tonight, I have plenty of time for discussion.
What about the banquet?
Oh, didn't you know? I'm not going to the banquet.
No? Too bad, ain't it?
Yes, it's tragic. Oh, keep quiet. Both of you.
Why ain't you going to the banquet, Daddy?
That's going to be the topic of our discussion. Get under the covers, baby. Good night, son. Sleep well.
Good night, Robespierre.
All right, Snooks. Follow me
Where you going, Daddy?
to my bedroom. Before we talk, I want to have a look in my clothes closet.
Why?
I don't know. I just have some wild premonition that all is not well with my full-dress suit.
Oh. Are you sure you didn't drop in on Mr. Powell, Daddy?
Quite sure.
It's just a while pulling the medicine in it.
No doubt. But it'll bear looking into just the same. Ah, here we are. Now, let's see.
It's hanging right there in the closet.
So it is. Seems to be intact, too. Mm-hmm.
Come downstairs, Daddy. I want to show you something.
Just a minute. This suit looks a little different.
Oh. What's the matter with it?
Looks as though it had been worn before. And I just had it made. Do you suppose that tailor could have made a mistake and sent me the wrong suit?
Yeah, you can trust those tailors. Let's go downstairs.
Don't leave this room.
Why?
This is not my suit at all. In fact, it wasn't even made by my tailor. There's a label in the pocket with a name on it. It says Dick Powell.
Well,
Cogitate, Snooks.
I'm cogitating, Daddy.
How did this suit get into my closet? And the second thing is, what happened to my suit?
One thing at a time, Daddy.
Snooks, I'll give you exactly 5 seconds for a full explanation. Can you talk that fast?
I can't even make it up that fast.
I don't want you to make up anything. I want the absolute truth. Now, what is Dick Powell's suit doing in my closet?
It's just hanging there, Daddy. He ain't doing nothing.
I want to know how this suit got here and why.
Well, Mr. Powell came over here, and he took off that suit and hung it in the closet.
What for?
He wanted to take a shower.
And he left without his clothes?
He wore his hat. And he told me not to say anything because...
Stop it! You little Machiavellian monster.
Huh?
Where's my suit? What have you done with it?
I didn't touch it.
Oh, it's no use carrying this subterfuge any further, Snooks. I was at the studio tonight, and I talked with Mr. Powell.
Well, why did you tell me you wasn't there?
What difference would it have made?
I would have had more time to think.
You'd have done your thinking before you acted. And now produce my full dress suit this instant.
I don't know where it is.
Then I'll find it. And don't you move. Well, it's not in this clothes hamper.
No.
It's not under the bed.
No.
Oh, wait. My bureau drawer.
You're getting warm, Daddy.
Ah, here it is. Oh, look at those sleeves.
I don't see no sleeves.
No. They've been cut off up to the shoulders. Now, who did it?
Could it be more?
No. Well, you've outdone yourself. This is the most perfect piece of wanton destruction it's ever been my good fortune to behold.
You like it, Daddy?
It's unpardonable. Snooks, I know you wore this suit to parade around in for Halloween. That's the truth, isn't it?
Yes, Daddy. But I didn't cut off the sleeves.
Well, how did it happen?
Well,
Go on.
I put on the suit, and I was very careful not to get it dirty.
Yes.
And everything was fine until I started to come home. And then...
And then what?
And then a big witch on a broom flew down on me. And snipped off the sleeve with a pair of scissors.
A big witch, eh?
Uh-huh. And 40 goblins tore the sea right out of the pants.
No! What happened to all the elephants and tigers that usually attack you?
Huh?
Why all of a sudden is it witches and goblins?
It's Halloween, ain't it?
Oh, of course. It's Halloween.
Yeah, let's stuff for apples, Daddy.
Oh, what's the use? Leave my side. Go away.
Why?
You're incorrigible. I keep hoping you reform, and sometimes you show flashes of goodness. But then you do a thing like this, and my hopes turn to mud in my mouth. Go away, Snooks. I'm ill.
Don't you want to spank me, Daddy?
No. I'll never spank you again.
Spank me, Daddy.
No. I wouldn't soil my hands on you.
If you spank me, I'll never be naughty again. I promise, Daddy.
Oh, all right. Turn over. There.
Do it again, Daddy.
Good heavens. She's beginning to like it. Well, see if you like this.
No more.
All right. Now go to bed and leave me alone.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night. Oh, why couldn't I have had number 158?
Well, it looks as though Daddy, played by Hanley Stafford, might get rich. He has discovered a notice in the newspaper calling for the missing heirs of a rich man by the name of Higgins. And Daddy thinks he may be related. So right now we find him hard at work trying to trace his family tree. Listen.
I had no idea my family went that far back. Now, if I can only prove a claim to the old man's fortune... Boy.
How, Daddy?
Oh, Snooks, you should be in bed.
What are you doing, Daddy?
I'm looking at some books on genealogy.
Jimmy who?
Not Jimmy. Genealogy. Genia, birth, ology, discourse. It's taken from the Greek.
Which Greek?
Any Greek.
Pakikakis?
Now, what's Pakikakis got to do with this?
I don't know.
Genealogy is an account or history of the descent of a person or family from an ancestor. I'm looking up my family tree.
Why?
To find my origin.
Is it an orange tree?
Not orange tree. I said origin. Origin. Understand?
Understand.
So what did I say?
Oranges?
All right, so I said oranges. Now go to bed.
I want an orange.
You can't have any oranges. Will you go to bed and let me finish my work?
What's in the books, Daddy?
I just told you. It's the history of all the Higginses. It tells about my forefathers.
Did you have forefathers?
Certainly.
Did you have 4 mothers, too?
No, I didn't have 4 mothers.
I had one mother.
Did they all live together?
Who?
Your one mother and your 4 fathers.
My mother had nothing to do with my forefathers.
Didn't you like them?
Certainly she liked them.
Then why didn't you have nothing to do with them?
She never met them. When I say forefathers, I don't mean forefathers. Nobody has forefathers, but everybody has forefathers. They don't have to be a father at all. You feel all right, Daddy? I knew that was fine. Don't ask me to explain anything else.
Why?
Because you never listen to anything I tell you.
I'll listen, Daddy.
Well, it's very simple. The forefathers I'm referring to are my ancestors. They all bore the name of Higgins, and they were my progenitors. Savvy?
Savvy.
Thank heaven.
You had 4 fathers, and they were all janitors.
That's fine. Now you're going to bed. Good night.
Good night. I'm staying here.
Oh, look here, Snooks. Now listen, this work I'm doing tonight may mean an awful lot to you.
Why?
Because if I can prove I'm related to a certain man, we'll be rich.
Which man?
An eccentric millionaire who died 2 weeks ago. His name was Lockstep Higgins.
Lockstep Higgins?
That's right. It's a very odd first name, and that's the one thing that leads me to believe he's a kinsman.
Why?
Well, it's a characteristic trait of our family to give unique first names. That explains your uncle, Camembert, and your little brother, Robespierre.
What explains me?
The less said, the better. Anyway, the name seems to be a clue.
What's your name, Daddy?
Oh, you know my name, Snooks.
Now lie down.
You do, too. What does Mother call me?
Pinhead.
She does not. Don't remind me of it. My name happens to be the only departure from the list of curious names in our family.
Tell me your name, Daddy.
It's Lancelot Bottlecap Higgins. And you needn't act as if you didn't know.
I knew the Lancelot, but I didn't know about the bottle cap.
Well, I don't use my middle name very often.
I like it. Bottle cap, bottle cap. Where have you been? I've been to...
All right, all right. Now, the main thing is to try and get a portion of the old man's money. It's over $5 million.
How do you know?
He left a will.
Will Higgins?
No, will. Last will and testament. It's a paper you sign that allows somebody to get all the money you've made.
Did you sign a will with Mummy?
What do you mean?
Well, she takes your salary every...
I know. Haven't seen the inside of my pay envelope for 9 years. Like being married to an installment company.
Huh?
Nothing. But wait till I get my hands on this dough.
Are you going to get it, Daddy?
I don't know. I haven't been able to trace any family connection with this Lockstep Higgins yet.
I'll help you look.
I've been all through my side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to find out what's on Mother's side.
I know what's on Mother's side, Daddy.
Oh, what?
A mustard plaster. I shouldn't have put it there.
I'm not talking about that at all. I've got to look through her lineage.
The clean ones?
Oh, hand me those papers.
What's in this big book, Daddy?
That's an old family album. Well, let me see it. There might be something in it.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Look at the funny pictures.
Well, what's funny about it?
Mm-hmm.
They're just wearing old-fashioned clothes, that's all. But you can see that every member of my family was an aristocrat.
A rusty cat?
Aristocrat. Huh. Plenty of blue blood in my veins.
Is there?
Why, certainly. I'll let you in on a little secret, Snooks. I come from a family of peers.
I won't tell nobody, Daddy.
Oh, I'm proud of it.
Why?
Why? Look at the picture of this fine old gentleman, one of my great-grandfathers.
Mm-hmm.
This was taken when he was made a knight.
How did he look in the daytime?
He looked fine. Queen Elizabeth made him a knight. She gave him the Order of the Bath.
Did he take it?
Why, of course. It's a great honor. He was only 30 years old at the time, and he never expected to get the Order of the Bath.
He never got it before?
Why, of course not.
He must have been awful dirty.
The Order of the Bath is a title. It's like being a prince.
Oh. Who's this one, Daddy?
Oh. Well, we never speak of him. He was my father's uncle. Now, let me tear up that picture, Snooks.
Is that the one who was the bearded lady in the circus?
Yes, he ran away. How did you know?
Mommy shows it to everybody.
Oh, she does, eh? Well, I'll go around showing pictures of her relatives. If I can get them out of the rogues gallery.
I want to see him, Daddy.
Never mind. Oh, what's that you got in your hand?
It's a funny picture with writing on it.
Let me see it.
Yeah.
To Cousin Flyleaf. Oh, that's my father. From Cousin Lockstep Higgins. Lockstep? Why, that's the guy.
Who?
The millionaire. Snooks, we're rich.
Are we?
I'll inherit a fortune. Where's that lawyer's phone book? Here, let me get at that phone.
Here, Daddy.
Hello. Get me Fuller, 40101. Oh, I knew that Lockstep would be a member of my family. You have brains.
Why?
Why, he must have had brains to make $5 million. That's the stuff us Higgins are made of. It runs in the family.
Runs in the family?
Oh, you bet. We're all alike, every one of us. Why, hello. Look, this is Lancelot Higgins calling about... Huh? What? He didn't leave a cent. But the will. Oh. He was nuts, eh?
It runs in the family, Daddy?
I see. Goodbye. Well, that's that. The old loon was broke. Everything happens to me.
I'll go to bed, Daddy.
Okay. Good night, Snooks.
Good night. Poor Daddy.
What is it, Snooks?
I want to sing.
I've told you 1,000 times you can't sing on this program.
Why?
Because Connie Boswell's good enough to do all the singing around here. Now, you just behave yourself.
I'll be good if you give me some money.
Oh, you will, eh? Well, you'll be good without money.
You want me to be good for nothing?
Never mind that. Come on, we're going home.
No, wait a minute, Daddy.
Oh, Miss Colbert, how do you do?
I'd like to meet this little angel of yours.
Why, certainly. Snooks, this is Miss Claudette Colbert. Say how do you do?
How do you do, Mrs. Colbert?
Snooks, I just heard you ask your daddy for some money for good behavior. Do you always do that?
Mm-hmm. But he never gives me any.
Well, I don't think it's very nice.
Tell him, Mrs. Colbert.
I mean, asking for money isn't very nice.
Oh.
Only greedy little girls do that.
What's greedy?
Oh, she's not really greedy, Miss Colbert. I think I can show you.
How?
Well, I'll let her choose between this dollar bill and this dime. See which one she takes. Oh, Snooks,
Yes, Daddy.
see what I have in my hand?
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want?
The silver one.
What did I tell you?
Wrap it up in that green paper.
I see what you mean, Daddy. Now, Snooks, I want to tell you a story about a greedy little boy.
Where is he now?
Well, right now he's in heaven with the angels.
Do men ever go to heaven?
Why, of course men go to heaven. Why do you ask such a silly question?
Well, I've seen lots of pictures of angels,
Yes?
but I never seen an angel with whiskers.
Well, that's true, Snooks. Men go to heaven, but they get there by a very close shave.
Oh, that's a great one. Isn't it, Snooks?
Now, tell me the story about the greedy boy.
Very well. There was once a little boy, and he threatened his mother that unless she gave him $1, he'd put ink in the goldfish bowl.
I done that.
Well, this little boy's mother gave him $1 not to do it because she was so tired.
Mm-hmm.
The minute he got his hands on the money, the little boy ran to the candy store and bought 10 big bags of candy.
Peppermint sticks?
Gumdrops.
Oh, I like that.
The greedy little boy went off by himself and started to devour this enormous amount of candy. He ate 5 whole bags, 6 bags, 7 bags, 8 bags. He finished 8 bags of that candy.
And then?
And then he burst in two.
Oh.
Now, that's a very sad little story. And I hope it'll teach you that it doesn't pay to be greedy. It does make you stop and think, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are you thinking?
Where's the other 2 bags of gumdrops?
That's enough. Come on, Snooks, we're going.
Some great fun with baby Snooks. Now to another great old-time radio show that had a huge youth following. Our Miss Brooks is another of those great juvenile radio shows that some only remember from television. Actress Eve Arden, with a one-of-a-kind speaking voice, led an all-star cast in this weekly half-hour on the CBS radio network from 1948 through 1957. In addition to Arden in the title role of English teacher Connie Brooks, venerable actor Gail Gordon was the school principal. A young Richard Crenna played student Walter Denton. Leading man Jeff Chandler played Eve Arden's bashful boyfriend, Mr. Boynton. When it went to TV with largely the same cast, it was an instant hit there. Now, let's go to Madison High School for a visit with everyone's favorite English teacher. We go from Baby Snooks to Our Miss Brooks.
It's time once again for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks under the direction of Al Lewis. Well, if persistence alone can earn a high grade, you've got to give Our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, an A for effort. It's taken almost 5 years, but this weekend she arranged to have Mr. Boynton, Madison's shy biology teacher, all to herself.
Yes, indeed. This time I absolutely put my foot down. It was just Mr. Boynton and me and 500 delegates to the teachers' convention. You see, over the past weekend, a special meeting was held in Evanston to help celebrate American Education Week. I had persuaded Mr. Conklin, our beloved principal, to send me along with Mr. Boynton as Madison's representative. And Friday morning, my landlady came into my bedroom just as I finished packing a valise for the trip.
You know, Connie, it looks just like cowhide.
I know, I haven't put my makeup on yet. Oh, you mean the valise. It is nice, isn't it? I borrowed it from Mrs. Rapp down the street.
Have you got everything packed, Connie?
I think so. Let's see. The nightie Harriet Conklin loaned me is in, and Mrs. Conklin's negligee, that's in, and your nylon stockings are in. Yes, I've got my things all packed.
Good.
And just wait until you see the new suit I'm wearing for the occasion. Of course, I won't be able to put that on until 5:15 today.
Why not, Connie?
Tilly Eberhardt doesn't get home from work until then.
You're terribly excited about this weekend trip, aren't you, dear?
Oh, of course, Mrs. Davis. This is quite an important convention. I'll get an opportunity to exchange ideas and opinions with other people in my line of work. I'll get an opportunity to see what's being accomplished at other schools.
What else will you get, Connie?
I'll get all my expenses paid and a whack at Mr. Boynton.
Oh, it'll be nice. You and Mr. Boynton seeing strange places and strange faces together.
The strange places are all right, but the strange faces can go to the races.
There's one thing that puzzles me, Connie. Knowing your relationship with Mr. Conklin, how did he happen to choose you as a delegate?
Oh, it's very simple, Mrs. Davis. Remember 2 weeks ago, Mr. Conklin got himself a new gray flannel suit?
Yes, indeed. His wife, Martha, told me he spent a small fortune on it.
I'm glad it was a small fortune. I spilled a small bottle of ink on it Monday.
You didn't?
He now has gray flannel pants and a very sporty blue jacket. Anyway, on Tuesday, he left his wristwatch on his desk, and I accidentally brushed it to the floor while I was picking up some papers. Then when I bent down to get it, I broke the crystal.
Oh, but the crystal is easily repaired.
Not when you break it by putting your heel through the back of the watch.
But, Connie, I still don't understand. Why did Mr. Conklin pick you for the convention this weekend?
I was just getting to that, Mrs. Davis. You see, Mr. Conklin is buying a new pair of glasses this morning, and he wants to give them a 3-day head start.
Sounds logical. Well, I know another English teacher at Madison who'll be mighty disappointed that she's not going on this trip.
You mean Miss Enright?
I do. She's almost as sweet on Mr. Boynton as you are, and this weekend trip would be a wonderful opportunity for her to cut you out with him.
Please, Mrs. Davis, I just got up. Why talk about nightmares? No more pencils, no more books, no more...
Wait for me, Miss Bragg!
Well, Walter Denton, why didn't you pick me up this morning? You know my car's in the repair shop.
So is mine. But I'm glad I caught you before you dropped into Mr. Boynton's biology lab.
What makes you think I was going to drop into the biology lab?
Please, Miss Brooks, it's too early in the morning for quips. What I meant was, I thought I could save you from a big disappointment.
Oh, that's all right. I'm used to him by now. I mean, what kind of disappointment?
Well, Mr. Boynton isn't in school. What's more, he isn't coming to school today.
What? But we're supposed to leave from here for the convention.
Yeah, I know it, Miss Brooks, and I know how devastated you'll be by the news, but Mr. Boynton won't be able to go to the convention. He's sick in bed.
Sick in bed? How do you know?
Harriet told me. He called in a little while ago and left a message with one of the teachers.
Well, how can I leave town if Mr. Boynton is sick? He has no more relatives in this part of the world than I have. Who'll take care of him?
Let me put your mind completely at ease, Miss Brooks. Harriet and I can run errands for Mr. Boynton, and I'm sure Miss Enright will be glad to nurse him back to health. She's an RN, you know.
Yes, I know. A real nothing.
You're not exactly smitten with Miss Enright, are you, Miss Brooks?
Frankly, Walter, there isn't a lot of affection squandered between us.
Well, she always speaks highly of you. Now, just the other day, Miss Enright said the only reason she can't see a romantic attachment between Mr. Boynton and yourself is because of the difference in your ages.
Miss Enright said that?
Sure. Let's see now. What were her exact words? Oh, I remember. She said that in her opinion, Mr. Boynton was definitely old enough to be your kid brother.
She did she? Well, that makes my next step quite apparent. If you'll excuse me, Walter, I'm going right over to the principal's office.
What for?
I've got to see a man about a cat.
Come in.
Good morning, Mr. Conklin.
Don't come any closer, Miss Brooks.
But, sir, I just...
If you take one more step, I'll call for help. You will be pleased to know, I am sure, that thanks to your valiant efforts, I have become one of the poorest accident insurance risks in this part of the state. I won't draw an easy breath until you're on the train this afternoon. I presume you're packed and ready to go?
Yes, sir, and I'm really looking forward to it. This is the first convention I've attended since I represented Gordon High School 6 years ago. That was a lot of fun.
You're not going to this convention to have fun, Miss Brooks. As Madison's standard bearer, our school will be judged by your actions. Always remember that.
Oh, I will, Mr. Conklin. You can depend on me, sir. I won't get myself thrown into jail. This time.
Jail? You mean you were thrown into jail at your last convention?
For the most absurd reason, Mr. Conklin. Can you imagine being locked up for riding around on a motorcycle?
Well, that's hardly a jail offense.
That's exactly what I told the policeman. Besides, he wasn't using it at the time anyway.
You took a policeman's motorcycle?
It was just a lark. There was absolutely no reason for them to put that picture in the paper.
What picture?
A picture of me holding up a burlesque queen in the drunk tank.
Miss Brooks, you can start unpacking at any time. You're not going to the convention.
Not going? But, Mr. Conklin, think of your new glasses.
My glasses will have to live dangerously like the rest of my person.
But if you don't send me, who will you send?
I haven't given it any thought. Have you any suggestions?
I haven't given it any thought either, Miss Enright.
Miss Enright might be just the person. She has poise, bearing. Do you think she'll relish the idea of going?
Believe me, Mr. Conklin, when you tell her about it, she'll be so happy she'll clap her paws in glee. Now, if you'll excuse me, sir, I'll get to my classroom.
Very well, Miss Brooks. Dismissed.
Thanks a lot.
Well, good morning, Miss Brooks.
Good morning, Mr. Boynton. Wait till you hear the news. I was just in Mr. Conklin's office. Mr. Boynton, what are you doing up? Go right home and get back into bed at once.
Bed? What for? I'm not sick.
You're not?
Oh, I never felt better in my life.
What a revolting development this is. Walter told me that Harriet said you were sick in bed.
Harriet? Oh, I didn't talk to Harriet. When I phoned the school this morning, I thought I was going to be delayed at the biology supply house, so I left that message with one of the teachers.
What teacher?
Miss Enright.
I should have said which teacher. And she's a witch teacher if I ever saw one.
Now, do you suppose she could have confused the words delayed with laid up?
There's no confusion at all. This is the result of careful calculations. Miss Enright knew that Harriet would tell Walter. Also that Walter would, if he saw me, and that's customary, he'd be almost sure to, tell me. And then knowing what she would do, or thinking she knew what I would do, she told Harriet what I later heard from Walter. And then I did what she thought I'd do.
Miss Brooks, are you all right? Why are you speaking in such jerky sentences?
There's a good reason, Mr. Boynton. I have just been completely taken in by a very jerky teacher.
Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate Dental Cream. It cleans your breath.
What a toothpaste.
While it cleans your teeth.
Colgate toothpaste.
Cleans your breath.
What a toothpaste.
While it cleans your teeth.
Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. And the Colgate way stops tooth decay best. More than 2 years' research showed the Colgate way of brushing teeth right after eating helped stop more decay for more people than ever before reported in dentifrice history. Yes, the Colgate way stopped tooth decay best. Better than any other home method of oral hygiene. No other dentifrice, ammoniated or not, has proof of such results. And you should know that Colgate, while not mentioned by name, was the one and only toothpaste used in the research on tooth decay recently reported in Reader's Digest. So always follow the Colgate way to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and stop tooth decay best.
Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate Dental Cream. It cleans your breath.
What a toothpaste.
While it cleans your teeth.
And the Colgate way stops tooth decay best.
Well, when we sat down to lunch in the school cafeteria, I told Mr. Boynton that I suspected Miss Enright of deliberately saying he was ill so that I would withdraw and she could go in my place. At first he refused to believe it of her, but finally his sense of justice was so completely outraged that he seemed beside himself with fury, and he violently shouted,
Maybe it was all a misunderstanding. Why should Miss Enright think you'd stay home from the convention even if I were sick in bed?
Because I would, that's why. Somebody would have to take care of you, get you your medicine and fix your meals and see that you were made comfortable.
Miss Brooks, may I remind you that I'm not sick in bed?
Oh, I know that, Mr. Boynton.
Then would you mind not taking my pulse? I need this hand to finish my wax beans.
I still say that when people haven't any relatives in a place, it's up to the people who think something of people to do something for the people they think something of. Maybe I should teach Spanish.
I know you're disappointed about not attending the convention, Miss Brooks, but if you have any suggestions you'd like me to put before the meeting...
There's only one suggestion I'm worried about, and that'll come from Miss Enright to you.
Hey, that's funny.
What?
You're mentioning Miss Enright. She's heading for the table now. Well, speak of the devil.
It's just the way she's wearing her hair. Uh-oh, she spotted us.
Hello, Miss Brooks. Oh, Mr. Boynton, why aren't you home in bed?
His sheets caught fire.
You know yourself, Miss Enright, I only phoned to say I might be delayed getting to school.
Delayed? I thought you said laid up.
You did? See, Miss Brooks, it was a misunderstanding.
Oh, of course. Like the one Custer had with those red chaps.
Now, don't be a bad loser, darling. Not that you are, really. I understand that you personally recommended me to Mr. Conklin for the position of second delegate from Madison High.
You did that, Miss Brooks?
I wish my mother had quit after my 2 older brothers were born.
Hey, do you mind if I join you at this table? The cafeteria is quite crowded right now.
Not as crowded as this table right now.
Oh, go on, sit right down, Miss Enright. I see you have your own sandwich. Can I get you some water or a napkin or something?
Oh, go ahead, Diamond Jim. Bring her a toothpick, too.
I'd love some water, please, Mr. Boynton.
Very well, I'll get some for all of us. I'm a great boy for water.
He's a great boy for a lot of things. Well, you'll be happy to know, darling, that Mr. Conklin told me of my selection as second delegate early in the day. That's why I was able to get home during a free period, pack a valise, and put on my new fall traveling suit. You like it?
It's all according how far you travel. Look, Miss Enright, we both know that your going to the convention is my fault. But we also know that my not going is your fault. Do I make myself clear?
To me, yes. But I can't help wondering how much of you gets across to your pupils. Oh, that's the wrong attitude, isn't it, darling? Yes. Let's not spoil Mr. Boynton's luncheon with a lot of female bickering.
You're right, Miss Enright. I might as well be a good sport about it. All's fair and you know what in war, I guess.
Well, here we are, ladies. Some good old aqua pura.
Greatest thing since water. Sit down, Mr. Boynton.
I brought some coffee for us, too.
Oh, that was very considerate, Mr. Boynton. Tell me, do you think the suit I'm wearing is all right for our train trip today?
Yes, Miss Enright, it looks fine. It's a very provocative shade of green. Don't you think so, Miss Brooks?
In my present mood, it's puzzling. I can't tell where her suit leaves off and my face begins. Actually, Miss Enright, it is an interesting shade of green. Who knows, you may blend in with your Pullman chair so well, Mr. Boynton won't be able to find you.
That's what you call being a good sport, Miss Brooks.
Sorry. Let's be gay, shall we? Drink up, Mr. Boynton. We'll knock that water cooler silly.
I've had plenty, thanks. I'm working on this beef stew right now. If you ladies will excuse me, I'm not much for conversation while I'm eating.
Of course, Mr. Boynton. Bon voyage. Tell me, Miss Enright, what other clothes are you taking on the trip?
Oh, just my 2 good dresses. As a matter of fact, they're the only 2 I'd wear out of the house.
But I thought you had quite an extensive wardrobe.
I did, but I gave loads of last year's stuff to charity. I feel the poor have to live, too.
What a liberal viewpoint. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Enright. I'd really like to let bygones be bygones. I'm going to get myself a little dessert now. May I bring you something?
Well, I could do with a piece of pie.
I'll be happy to do you with a piece of pie. I'll pick out something real nice.
Where are you going, Miss Brooks? Can I get something for you?
You keep bucking that beef. You're only yards away from a first down. I'll be back in a jiffy.
Don't make it anything too rich, darling.
Oh, leave it to me, darling. I'll fix you up fine.
Hi, Miss Brooks. I was happy to see that Mr. Boynton wasn't sick enough to miss school today.
He's not sick at all, Harriet. It was just a plot to get me to volunteer to stay home so Miss Enright could go to the convention in my place. I suggested her to Mr. Conklin myself.
And he took your suggestion?
Hook, line, and sinker. But I've got an idea that may still turn the tables. I'm going to get Miss Enright a nice piece of pie.
A piece of pie? Because she played a dirty trick on you?
Exactly. Let's see now. What goes poorest with a green dress?
With a green... Oh, I get it, Miss Brooks. You're going to present Miss Enright with the pie, but in several places.
Why, Harriet Conklin, what an outrageous thought. I'll just take this coconut cream pie, I believe.
How about taking this piece, too?
Both of them?
Well, sure. Then you can lose your balance easier. And as you let her have it, you can sing White Christmas.
You have an extremely poetic mind. Oh, Harriet, there's no one at this counter to punch my food check. Will you please get it done for me? I'll pick it up on my way out.
Oh, sure, Miss Brooks. You go right ahead.
Thanks, dear.
Don't mention it. Happy landing on.
Well, I hope I wasn't too long. I brought some pie back for both of you.
Well, that was very thoughtful, Miss Brooks. It looks delicious.
Oh, yes, it does. I'll pass Mr. Boynton's piece over to him, Miss Brooks.
I think I can manage.
Oh, come on, let me have it.
Well, if you insist. Ooh, oh, I must have tripped.
How could you be so clumsy?
Oh, my goodness, the pie's all over your new suit.
Oh, well, not quite all over it, Mr. Boynton. Most of it's splattered on the coat. The skirt's not touched, thank goodness.
That's what I get for not keeping my head down.
Here, I'll just dip a napkin in this water. Maybe we can get some of the goo off your coat. Here, let me try.
Watch out for the coffee cup. Oh, no. All over my skirt.
That's what I call teamwork.
I'm terribly sorry, Miss Enright.
Oh, my new suit is completely ruined. First pie on the coat, then coffee on the skirt.
It's like I always say, what good's a piece of pie without a cup of coffee?
Your alleged humor leaves me cold at this point, Miss Brooks. It's a good thing I had the foresight to pack my other dresses and leave them in my gym locker.
Oh, it is indeed, Miss Enright. You'd hardly have time to get new clothes this afternoon. The train leaves at 5:45.
Well, accidents will happen. I apologize again, Miss Enright. And now, if you'll both excuse me, I've got to practice a bit.
Practice?
Yes, my work on the parallel bars has been very vertical. You sent for me, Mr. Conklin?
Yes, Miss Brooks, I did. I have just spoken with Miss Enright. She, it appears, was foolhardy enough to have lunch with you.
We did share the same table, but...
Fortunately, she escaped without any serious bodily injury. However, she has been forced to withdraw as Madison's second delegate to the Teachers' Convention in Evanston.
You mean she's not able to go?
Miss Brooks, when Miss Enright informed me that you had peppered her garments with a slab of coconut cream pie, it didn't surprise me in the least. But there's one thing that does puzzle me.
What's that, Mr. Conklin?
If it isn't revealing too much of a trade secret, Miss Brooks, would you kindly tell me how you managed to plop a second piece of cream pie on the dresses packed inside her valise? Which was inside her locker?
I guess when I get clumsy, I just go hog wild.
But until they infringe upon school operations, personal rivalries on the faculty are not my concern. However, there are 2 train tickets available for this trip.
I know it. Yes, sir. 2 tickets.
And there are 2 delegates expected at the convention.
That's right. 2 delegates expected. 2 of them.
As you know, Mr. Boynton is one of the delegates. All we need now is another one.
You're right, Mr. Conklin. You're so right. You're the rightest thing since the Wright brothers. Just one more delegate's all we need.
Miss Brooks.
Yes, Mr. Conklin?
Get off my desk. You're not going. I have just made my selection for delegate number 2.
Who?
Me.
You?
None other. Not only will the trip do me a world of good, it will reflect prestige and credit upon Madison High as well. However, I don't want you to feel completely out of things, Miss Brooks.
So?
So I want you to type up these notes for me. They contain some remarks I will make to the convention. Now, toddle along, Miss Brooks.
Yes, sir. Oh, Mr. Conklin.
Yes?
I realize it's quite late, but how would you like to be my guest for a little lunch?
Not today, thank you. But don't be discouraged. It was a nice try. Good day, Lucretia.
Don't be discouraged, he says. Of all things that happen to a person.
Miss Brooks, you must be upset today. You're talking to yourself.
I know. I'm a very good listener. Oh, it's you, Mr. Boynton.
Yes, I'm going in to talk to Mr. Conklin for a moment.
Mr. Conklin, are you in trouble?
Oh, not at all. I'd rather not mention why I'm seeing him until after the interview. If you'll wait right here, Miss Brooks, I think I'll have a pleasant surprise for you when I come out of his office.
Surprise?
Yes, no, wait right by that fire hose on the wall. I'll just be a few minutes.
Don't worry, Mr. Boynton. Unless the hose catches on fire, I'll be here.
I'm glad you waited for me, Miss Brooks.
This hose is doubled over exactly 62.5 times. Now, what's the surprise?
Well, I knew how anxious you were to make this trip to Evanston, so when Miss Enright withdrew, I determined to prevail upon Mr. Conklin to let you go as originally planned.
But there are only 2 tickets available, and Mr. Conklin is using one of them himself.
I know that, Miss Brooks, but you're going anyhow.
I am?
Yes, I turned back my ticket to Mr. Conklin. Of course, he was a little timorous at first, but when I pointed out how helpful you could be to him, taking notes and typing and whatnot, he agreed to have you accompany him to the convention.
But what about you, Mr. Boynton?
Oh, don't worry about me. I'll be busy as a bee over the weekend. I'll probably go on a shopping tour with Miss Enright.
You really must excuse me, Mr. Boynton. This is the only traveling dress I own, and I've got to fix it up right away.
Fix it up? What's wrong with it?
That's obvious. It hasn't any coconut cream pie on it.
Martin as our Miss Brooks returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight? Yes, tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Luster Cream, world's finest shampoo.
No other shampoo in the world gives you Kay Daumit's magic blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Better than a soap, better than a liquid, Luster Cream is a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair 3 ways lovelier. Fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Even in hardest water, Luster Cream lathers instantly. No special rinse needed after a Luster Cream shampoo. So gentle, Luster Cream is wonderful even for children's hair. Tonight, yes, tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo.
Dream girl, beautiful Luster Cream girl, you owe your crowning glory to a Luster Cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, by the time I got to the cafeteria, they were all out of pie. So I took a short detour through the machine shop where a terrible thing occurred. I accidentally ripped my dress on a rusty nail lying in a locked toolbox which I had jimmied open. About 15 minutes later, as I left Mr. Conklin's office, I bumped into Miss Enright.
Oh, it's you, Miss Brooks. Don't you think you've done enough damage for one day?
I'm terribly sorry about what happened, Miss Enright, but I have tried to make it up to you.
What do you mean?
I've just arranged with Mr. Conklin for you to go in my place.
But my clothes!
Mrs. Davis is bringing over her new suit for you. You both wear the same size, and she said she'd be happy to lend it to you.
Well, you have had an attack of conscience, Miss Brooks. But I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth.
I'll turn my head. Here's the ticket.
Well, thank you, dear. Mr. Boynton and I will send you a postcard.
Well, Miss Enright, I hear you're going to the convention after all.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Conklin.
The train leaves at 5:45, so be sure to meet me at the station at 5:30.
Meet you? What about Mr. Boynton?
I'm going in his place. Now, I've got to pack my bag. Be sure you're on time, Miss Enright.
Mr. Brooks, I won't forget this if I live to be 100.
Oh, that's terrible, Miss Enright. You can't hold a grudge for the next 5 years.
This is Fern Smith reminding you to tune in next week to another Our Miss Brooks show, brought to you by Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair, and Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written by Al Lewis, with the music of Wilbur Hatch. Mr. Boynton is played by Jeff Chandler, Mr. Conklin by Gail Gordon. Others in tonight's cast were Jane Morgan, Dick Crenna, Gloria McMillan, and Mary Jane Croft.
Doctors prove Palmolive soap can bring you a lovelier complexion in 14 days. Yes, 36 leading skin specialists proved in tests on 1,285 different women that Palmolive soap facials, using nothing but Palmolive, brought new complexion beauty to 2 women out of 3. Just wash your face 3 times daily with Palmolive soap, each time for 60 seconds, massaging Palmolive's beauty lather onto your skin. Then rinse and pat dry. So start your Palmolive facials today. Remember, doctors prove Palmolive soap can bring you a lovelier complexion in 14 days.
Folks, meet Eve Arden, radio's own Miss Brooks, at home and at school in the pages of the Current Look magazine. Yes, it's a photo feature of Eve, her associates at Madison High, and with scenes of her home life after school is dismissed. All in the current issue of Look magazine, now on sale at all newsstands. If you like mysteries that are as full of chuckles as chills, be sure to hear Mr. and Mrs. North every Tuesday over this same network. Don't miss the exciting and laughable adventures of these amateur detectives. Hear Mr. and Mrs. North every Tuesday night, and be with us again next week at the same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. Stay tuned now for Jack Benny. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Thanks for joining me for an hour of some of the old-time radio shows young America liked the best. I'm River Gibbs. Join me again next time right here. This is the Yesterday USA Radio Network.